Hi, Victoria here, author of Zest for Success, owner of the Bookkeeper Hub and HBA Encompass, back talking in my car for another instalment of building a business the Zest for Success way. Yesterday we had a chat about cash flow budgets and making sure that your business is viable. Today I want to take that a little bit further and talk about a capital budget. And a capital budget is how much money that you're going to need to actually start your business, because you need to have that figure so you can work backwards to put the repayments in to make sure your business is viable. So when we're talking about a cash flow budget, a capital budget, it's hard to determine what it is because it's different based on every single type of business. So here's my take on it, and hopefully it'll put you in good stead going forward. It starts with any cost of materials that you need to buy to start up, any stock that you need to buy. So yesterday we were talking about manufacturing stubby coolers. You'll probably find that if you want to get them at $4 each, there's a minimum buy that you need to have of 100 or 1,000 or whatever it is. So you need to work out what the cost of those stubby coolers are that you need to front up to get your first amount of stock. Now, 100 stubby coolers is a really small business. I'm just trying to make this as simple as I can. But keeping in mind that your suppliers won't have dealt with you before. So they're going to want cash up front for you to order anything. So it's really important that you understand what these costs are going to be. If you're going to go and rent some premises, you're going to need to pay a rental bond, which is generally worth 4 weeks' rent in advance. And then you're going to have to make sure that you've got enough to pay the rent each month going forward. When you sign a lease for property, the lease is there for 3, 4 or 5 years. And if you cease being in business, there'll be a guarantee for sure that you're responsible for paying those lease payments even if you're not there. Other things that you need to include in a capital budget are things like any machinery or tools that you might need. So a plumber might want to go and get a drain machine or some tools, fit out a van. All those kind of things need to be factored into your startup expenses. If you're going to go into manufacturing, there might be some machinery or some plant that you need to buy. And don't forget the installation costs of these, because just buying it from the supplier is one thing, then you might need to get a sparky out to wire it up, or a crane to move it into a business. So you need to have a think about all these costs. Now, these don't need to be accurate down to the nth cent. If you can get a rough idea of what it's going to be, probably add about 10% for contingencies, then you've got a capital budget. And that gives you an idea of how much money that you need to start your business. And just to throw a left field one in there, I'm going to put in there 4 months worth of operating costs. You know, yesterday we talked about those fixed costs, the rent, the wages, the electricity, the telephone, the printing and stationery, all that kind of stuff. If you know that's going to add up to 10 grand a month, I'm suggesting you need 40 grand up your sleeve, just in case those sales that you think you're going to have don't take off from day one, because there's nothing worse than operating for a month and then getting to the rent payment being due and having to go and scramble and borrow money off mum, dad, friends or whoever it is to pay the rent, because A, you don't want to borrow extra, and B, you don't want to look like a failure and it makes you feel bad. So make sure when you're looking at these capital costs that you're looking at everything that you're going to need to get your business up and running. And then you plug in the repayments of this, whether it be you saying I want to pay it off in 18 months or whether the bank's saying if you're going to buy a van, it's going to be over 4 years. And you make sure you have those expenses in your budget to make sure that in a very short time your business is going to be viable. You might find when you do your cash flow budget that you know that your sales are going to be slow to start with and you are in the red for the first couple of months. And that means that then again that capital budget needs to be high enough to cover those expenses. So that's why I'm saying to make sure that you've got a 4-month kind of leeway. So make sure you plug that into your budget. I had to think, I'm going to create a landing page on the Bookkeeper Hub website, and it's going to be downloads. So it's going to have resources. I'm going to source a couple of easy budgets with some formulas in there and put it there so that if you wanted to download it and have a look at it, it's there. So the website will be www.bookkeeperhub.com.au/downloads. And in there, any downloads that we talk about in the Zest for Success stuff, I'm going to put there so that you can find it nice and easily. So good luck with your budgets. If you do have any questions, you can always email me, admin@bookkeeperhub.com.au. So I'll see you tomorrow.